Witness, your name and occupation? Yes, sir. My name is Stick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Ah! Get to the point already. Let the man finish! This kid is worse than her father. She's whipping people in court. That should not be allowed. By anyone. Hey guys, Zack and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. So in the last episode we had a reunion with Maya, and she did an exorcism that went horribly. Well, not an exorcism, but channeling? I don't know. Channelings, exorcisms, they're kind of similar, but they're kind of the reverse of one another, so it's kind of the same thing. But in any case, she did channeling. It didn't go over well, and she murdered somebody while somebody else was in her body. Although there are some fishy things about the exorcism. And we also learned how to break through people's psyche locks so we can actually weasel more information out of them when they don't want to. So, yeah, that's a new mechanic for this game. It works similar to getting confessions out of people during a lawyer section where we do the where they do the courtroom stuff. It's similar to that, in that if you get something wrong, you're penalized. If you're penalized too much, it's a game over. That kind of thing. But in any case, yeah. And also, apparently, our old mentor, Mia, apparently has some secrets that she's not willing to tell us. So we're going to have to figure things out as we go. But we do have enough evidence to at least get the trial underway. And also, if you remember Von Karma from the end of the last game, well, end in heavy air quotes, since there was a 5th chapter that took a long time. But at the end of the original game, we met Manfred von Karma. Apparently his kid is going to be prosecuting the trial. So, fun! If you don't remember Manfred von Karma, he was kind of a dick. So, this is going to be interesting. But in any case, let's just get started. Alright. June 21st, 9:48 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. What? Prosecutor von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's a successor this time. Successor? Yeah, as far as I know, he's still in jail. I don't think he has any chance of getting out. Considering that he did kind of murder a person and frame another guy for it. Just a little bit. He did this whole Alex Jones conspiracy thing where he killed Gregory Edgeworth. And made everybody think that Miles Edgeworth actually did it, when in actuality, he did it, and Edgeworth was just remembering things wrong. So, in any case, yeah, Edgeworth kind of pseudo-retired after that. He officially retired at the end of Part 5. So, yeah. In any case, long-winded way of saying, we have a bit of history with Von Karma. Manfred von Karma was a really sinister man. Yes, he was, as I explained in my opening. He was kind of a dick. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks. Also, he could win. Yes, he did. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now, his successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. I don't know. Probably equally dickish? I mean, it's his kid, so I would imagine. Some people won't not everybody turns out like their parents, but Von Karma seems like the kind of guy where you would go resenting your father and try to not to be like him, but wind up turning into him anyway. He sounds like that kind of person. He sounds like that kind of dad. It's no good. Mystic Maya! Pearly! You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have been trained for 2 days straight with no breaks. That's bad? That you don't push somebody until they break? That's not a good idea. It's something that happens in video game development a lot. People go, they call it crunching. It's basically when developers go until they can't anymore. it's a sad practice, but but it is responsible for one of the best games in the industry, so it's kind of a gray area, just a little bit. It's not a good thing, but it gets results. So it's a little bit on the fence as to whether it's a good thing or not. It's most likely a bad thing, since it's kind of bad for a game developer's health to go until they drop. But at the same time, it produces some of the best games in the industry. So it's kind of a little iffy as to whether or not it should be gotten rid of. I mean, granted, you can do the same thing with a little bit of time and rescheduling, but I don't know. It's most likely it's definitely a bad thing, but it gets results. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? Yep. I snuck out of the manor and followed the map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. Okay. I can't, oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train, oh man. Yeah, she probably... Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? Yeah, I figured you wouldn't know what a train is. I give up. It's time, isn't it? Yes, it is. I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? It'll probably be... it's fine. I could handle Von Karma. I can handle Von Karma Jr. At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Yeah, but Edgeworth is kinda pseudo-retired. Canonically, there's a side series called Ace Attorney Investigations, and it stars Miles Edgeworth. Canonically, it takes place after and during most of the second game, I think. So canonically, he's off doing his own thing while all of this is happening. He's canonically off doing something else, but yeah, I think he does eventually show up at the end of the game, if I remember correctly. I don't know all the details. I don't purposely look stuff up. Sometimes it happens. I know Ace Attorney Investigations that runs from the end of the first game through most of the second, and then he's back. So I have no idea how it's gonna play out. But in any case, yeah. In any case, let's just get started. Mr. Edgeworth? Who's that? He's a lawyer friend of mine, a prosecution attorney. You don't know him. He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. It was always back and forth with them. But when you're rivals for life... Maya? Please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He retired, didn't... Right. He's gone. And he's not coming back. Ah, so he... Yeah, I told you. He's sort of pseudo-retired. What? Yeah, he's sort of retired. Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed to the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick? Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, it's a little iffy as to why he retired. In the original game, he just kind of retired because he realized that, what was it? He realized that Von Karma had basically manipulated him into being his pawn, and he just couldn't deal with that at the moment, so he decided to become a much better attorney by traveling abroad. However, in the additional version where they added a fifth chapter, he retires because of faulty evidence, and then just goes off and does his own thing because of that. It's ambiguously canon as to whether Chapter 5 is actually canon or not, but some of the characters actually come back, I think, in the sequel trilogy, so who knows? Oh, there they are. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and defense prepared? There she is. What is with this kid? Ahem, Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Well, maybe because you kind of just zone off in the middle of a trial? You're not supposed to do that. I mean, whether it's the fictional legal system this is based on or the real one, you're not supposed to just zone off in the middle of a trial. That's a great way to get yourself in contempt of court. Don't do that. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Hello. Yes. Hello. You must be a little shocked because I am a woman, correct? Not really? My mentor was a woman. Hold on. So she's the famed successor to Prosecutor von Karma? I'm Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Ah, so to avenge your father. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow! I'm talking! Did she just whip the judge? That's also a great way to get yourself in contempt of court. You're not supposed to do that either. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Yeah, same here, Phoenix. Same here. High five. You can't high five. You're a video game character. Never mind. Ouch! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Alright. Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please. Those of von Karma blood have only one fate. And that is perfection. Oh, she's just like her dad. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape of her guilt on my watch. But very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor? Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. That was a mouthful. Okay. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense? A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because the plea justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. Okay. How foolish. You're a little weird, lady. I like you. And that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix, right? Then I shall now call the first witness. Alright? She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Yeah, pretty much. Of course it's Gumshoe. Witness, your name and occupation? Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Ah! Get to the point already. Let the man finish! This kid is worse than her father. She's whipping people in court. That should not be allowed. By anyone. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. Ah. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. Okay. What are they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? Yeah. This is where the case is gonna get a little bit weird. Cause Maya, technically speaking, did and did not kill somebody. I mean, her body was the one who physically did it, but she wasn't the one in control when it happened. So this is where the case is gonna get a little bit murky. She's the one who physically killed him, but she herself was not responsible for the actual killing. It's a little weird. You get what I mean? It's gonna be a little weird. That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Ahem. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. And that's when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? Well, I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I've ever presided over. Yeah, yeah, but it's a little iffy, as I said. Because yes, Maya did in fact kill somebody, but she wasn't in fact the one responsible. I don't know, it's a little murky. Alright, floor plans added to the court record. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time then. Alright, cause of death. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Huh. Yeah, is right. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. Okay, thank you for the autopsy report. Yeah, Dr. Gray. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point-blank range. Yeah, we knew that. Before I accept this into evidence, Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Okay, I can do this. There isn't much to say about this. Direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. Okay. Alright, so I need to figure out... the discrepancy here. There isn't much I can say. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. Okay. Now that's an interesting question. How did Maya get a hold of the victim's pistol? The victim? Now, why would he have a pistol? Who cares? Well, it's relevant. It's everything is relevant. The point is that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Along with the victims, the defendant, Maya Faye's, were also in the grip, sir. Implying that he had a hold of it first, and then she got a hold of it. Well, she... Yes. So, the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. Ah, I walked right into her hands there. Okay. Point blank, huh? So, about how far away is that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. So, relatively close. A foot at least? And under 2 feet at most. And how do you know he was shot at point blank? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Mr. Phoenix writes, I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. You like the word fool, don't you? Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know any of this stuff. Yeah, he's a lawyer? I don't think they need to know any of this stuff. I mean, obviously they need to know quite a bit about legal and stuff like that. I know they need to actually know law and stuff like that, but I'm not entirely sure if they need to know like physical criminal evidence stuff. I'm not entirely 100% on that. Maybe. I'm not entirely 100%. They might. I'm not a lawyer. I do not know all my legal stuff. Don't quote me on this, but I don't think they need to know how people die to do their job. I don't think. If you know a lawyer, have them correct me on it. I don't care if someone happens to come across and correct me on it. I'll be happy to take that full to heart. All right. So if you got any information that says otherwise, let me know. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. All right. Stabbed. And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. Huh. I see. And whose knife was it? It looks like it belonged to the face, sir. And of course, my face fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? This does not look good. No, it does not. Ha ha ha. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause the instantaneous death. Alright, this is gonna be iffy. How severe was the wound? If it had been a half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Alright? Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure as can be. Well, look, the wounds and you come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. This lady is going to make me tongue-tied by the end of this, I can tell. A pistol shot to the forehead, a plump blank, is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter, then, which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? What a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the two murder weapons with me today, sir. Okay? Very well. The court accepts them into evidence. Alright? The murder weapon was Gray's. 2 shots fired. Bears Maya and Gray's fingerprints. Knife was added to the court record. Murder weapon, a small fruit knife, belongs to the face. Bears Maya fingerprints. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Okay, how do you know that? Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at the time. And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. Yes, it is. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam this little gavel of yours. After all, there's no room left for doubt, is there? That is quite true. Mr. Wright? Yes? Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the only opinion... It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See? Just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. Well? I definitely have evidence. I definitely have evidence that can prove that this was indeed self-defense. Because why is there a bullet hole in the folding screen? There shouldn't be a bullet hole in the folding screen. There shouldn't be one. And that's a piece of evidence that I have. If I plead not guilty, it's going to end terribly for me. I think. Well, let's see. Diagram of Fame Manor. There's the channeling chamber. Well, there's evidence. Whoa. Let's see. Let's look at my evidence. This is gonna be confusing. There shouldn't... Okay, so here's the thing. We know this key can only be used to opening the channeling chamber, but oddly enough, there's 2 of them. There shouldn't be 2 of them. Yeah, there shouldn't be 2 of them. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. But let's see. They said plead justified self-defense, which is what they seem to be pushing me to do. But at the same time, what happens if I plead not guilty? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Maya had no motive to kill anybody. At all. She didn't have a motive. But the nurse who possessed her definitely did. So, I think not guilty. Because there's definitely a case... Because you could definitely make a case for justified self-defense, but that would most likely end badly. If I plead not guilty, I might be able to walk myself back from it. I'm gonna plead not guilty. If I'm wrong, I'll plead the other one. If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. You. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective! Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir. Now, see here. Proceedings are run by... Eek! I don't... Okay. Yes, of course. Go ahead, Detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Alright, what's this incriminating evidence you speak of? Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray on the blood on this. This piece directly links Maya to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this in evidence. Alright, Maya's costume added to court record. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splattered on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. Not at a loss, just trying to work together all my options. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. It is! It really is. Alright. Let's see if we can actually... Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. Alright. Okay. Alright, Okay, let's see if we can push it. Press? I think I can do this. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You're kind of scared today, you know, pal. Yes, I am. Because one of my closest friends has been pinned with murder that she may or may not have committed. You better believe I'm pissed. Come now, Mr. Wright. There is no need for that kind of attitude in my court. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that. I am determined. This is the costume the defender was wearing at the time of the crime. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? Huh. As you can see, it's covered in blood. Yes, we can see that. There's blood in the costume. Lab results show there was the victim's blood. Huh. So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So, was there any other clues you can glean from this piece of evidence? Well... If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad. Not enough time. Let's move on. You're demanding, aren't you? Oh yes, Miss von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Press further! Press further! Always press further! Since Franziska seems like she doesn't want me to know this information. Why is Miss von Karma suddenly putting up a resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. Well, let's see. Okay. I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright? Miss von Karma's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it. Looks like my time is up. So, about the costume. There's one little thing. Definitely. Your Honor, actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you were talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Ah! Bullet hole. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. That sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Literally! Ha-ha! Funny joke! Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you should make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order! 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 This is a very grave matter. It is best we correct the court record first before anything else. Alright. Miley's costume added to the court record. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Yeah, we did. And she doesn't care. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That, just now, was a fluke. Nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. While I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police, what Prosecutor von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way! Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. Well, the defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Well, I know exactly what it is. This thing, right? Let's present this thing. I'm pretty sure this thing is the thing that I need. So, okay. Well, okay, I think I jumped the gun there a little bit. Press. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically. We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. Alright. What's this hole in the sleeve? Alright, sorry, pal. We must have thought it was a tear in the seam. That's no good. Missing the hole is not what I'm asking about. I'm talking about the hole itself. The smell of gunpowder clearly gives away that it is a bullet hole. As if little things like that matter. But they do. A bullet hole in the sleeve, blood splattered all over the costume. Neither of these things can change the fact that the defendant killed the victim. I know there's something more to this costume. Come now, detective. You're wasting precious time. Yes, sir. Let's see. There's gotta be something. Wait, am I presenting the wrong piece? I just realized I might be presenting the wrong piece of evidence. If I present the costume, however, that should do it. Yes, that was it. I presented the wrong piece of evidence. Okay. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes? Heh. Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole your police overlook supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is that what it means to not fight back? You're right! It seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. What's with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? That would be why! Miss Von Karma. It seems that my affair was shot by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Now that you... Why, that's right. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No. Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? Yes. You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? This lady's crazy. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Alright. What transpired? Alright, now we're moving on. Now we're getting somewhere. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. This scenario you have just put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright? On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. But please refrain from glaring at me like that. Sorry! Now then, your cross-examination, please. Alright. Cross-examination time! What's transpired? A thing. A thing transpired. Alright. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Okay, we knew that. Press? There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the current channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Karain channeling technique. That's actually kind of impressive, actually. Like I said before, I am perfect. About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get it. Never mind, let's continue with the testimony. Okay, Judge. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight it back, sir. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. Probably doesn't mean absolutely. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day. And afterward, I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness? Ack! Sorry. This is going nowhere. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. Interesting! But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Huh. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? That's the interesting question there. Did Dr. Gray intend to kill Maya? What, was he taking precautions against something? Seems like it. Seems like the spirit had a bit of a vendetta against the doctor. So, seems like there might be evidence there. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Alright. So, you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Alright. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim has already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Even me. I wonder. Uh-oh. Now do you understand? You seem a little cocky. Von Karma's logic is perfect. If you say so. But I got your old man. I can probably take care of you. This testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to be to uncover the truth. I can feel it. There's gotta be evidence here. There's gotta be something. Let's see. There's gotta be something. Okay, so let's... I've been at this for a while now. I'm not entirely sure. This is going to be important later. I already know that for a fact. The only thing I've got... Why would he... Well, this nut... Maya didn't have this knife when she came in. Maya definitely didn't have a knife. course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. Presents? While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. I am lost. Okay, there seems to be... Alright, see, the gun is brought up a lot here. So, let's see, the handgun. Try it, and if it doesn't work, I'm back to square one, I guess. And that is. Yeah, well. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Alright. There's gotta be something. There's gotta be evidence here. There's gotta be. I'm in the hole a little bit here. Do I need to look it up? I really don't want to have to look it up, but I might if I take too much longer here. Is it the costume again? Because it smells like gunpowder, but I don't know if there was any gunpowder. Actually, there might be. There's no contradiction there. Where's my contradiction? I'm trying to find my contradiction. This is not fun. This is not fun. I have to figure this out. Let's see. I'm a big brain boy. I can figure this out. I may have to look it up. I've been here for a while and I have no idea. So let's just see what it is. Okay, so I was right. It is the costume. Just push it on the fourth statement. What did I do? Okay, so it says go on fourth statement. So I was overthinking it. 1, 2, 3. And then presents it here? Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Eh? What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left on around the bullet hole. Oh. But there's not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. I should have figured that was the case. Alright. This is very good points. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? Please stop using my full name! You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Yeah. Well, then... Now she's a little bit flustered. I think we got her. That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. after stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Something doesn't make sense. There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. What? Fatal? Flaw? Yeah! Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has been a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Now I think we can actually pull this thing out of the bag. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Ah! It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Well, what? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? Apparently so, yes. The bullet went straight through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... when the shot was fired, Maya, I mean the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Well, that's good testimony. Good argument. Okay. Order. This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot. And the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Would have had to have been... No, if the victim... The victim would have had to have been... No. Whoa. Would she have been here? Would Maya have been sitting here when it happened? Because it's a straight line... let's see. It's a straight line between that and the bullet, so she would have to have been here. Or roughly... somewhere around here. Uh-oh. The judge's face is scrunchy like he smells something serious, but... that is, I mean... Wait, I just realized I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up. Sure. In the meantime, I want you to think these things through again, Mr. Wright. Of course. Whoops. What's done is done. For now, I should focus on where Maya was at the time of the crime. She would have been... Well, that one... No. Because I'm pretty sure that's where the knife would have been. She would have been here, wouldn't she? She was standing right here next to the folding screen. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. Alright? But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You. I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But what do you think has changed the defendant's situation? But do you think this... It changes everything, doesn't it? Also, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at this time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen. Exactly. If Manfred was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Well, we've proven Maya is innocent at least, but we haven't exactly proven who was the real murderer. Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oof. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the back. Oh, never mind. Why is it never easy? Blast radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? To think that you've been able to take completely hopeless case to the point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Of all the things to inherit, why did you have to be the smarmy smile? Detective? How dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How can it be all my fault? You can start repairing your standing by first removing the 3-strand goatee. Strand goatee. Oh, and the rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. Okay, so we're moving on to the next part next. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Alright, we need to... Okay, so now we need to actually... Okay. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. So, we did a thing. I think. We were at the very least able to poke a bit of a hole in von Karma's idea. Her whole thing was that Maya was prepared, waiting to strike, but then why the hell was she all the way over by the folding screen when she shouldn't have been doing that if she were indeed the murderer? Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense now, does it? So, we've poked a hole in that, but apparently von Karma is still going to be swinging, so we'll see how Franziska actually gets herself out of this one, and how we, in turn, topple her. But in any case, this is going to be an interesting trial, because we kind of sort of proved that Maya wasn't the murderer, but there's still some questions that are unanswered. We kind of sort of did, but there's also some other testimony that proves otherwise, so we'll have to work around that as well. But in any case, I think I'm going to leave this episode here, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And if you want to help support the show, then be sure to check out my Patreon. It's only a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks on my way saying thanks. So be sure to check those out in the description below as well. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!